Spectacular. The Douglas Lake Ranch in south-central British Columbia is a massive mixture of rolling hills, forests, mountains, and idyllic lakes. It offers a variety of recreational opportunities, but fishing is the one Skip Morris and Brian Chan have come to partake of. Stony Lake is where we'll be fishing, and it's a perfect place to reside if you happen to be a chironomid. Though they're abundant in most rivers and lakes, the muddy bottoms of Stillwaters are where chironomids thrive. They can hatch throughout the year, but it's in spring and fall when explosions of the pupa can wriggle out of the mud and make their way to the surface. This is when you want to be on the water if you're an angler.
They're just starting to feed today,
Okay.
and hatch is starting to slowly build. And as it builds, more and more people in the water column, the big fish will come in and eat.
When you say the water column, you're really talking about the water as it stands between the surface and the bottom.
That's right. That entire, and like we were in 30 feet here, so there's a lot of water for the pupa to be
A lot of column. Yeah. Chironomids are funny little guys. They're semi-stout, little worm-looking things, and they're the pupa, and they come up out of the bottom, and then they kind of squirm their way to the surface laboriously, and the fish tend to take them, they can take them at any place, from the surface right down to when they first pop out of the mud, but they usually take them, don't you find, in the bottom 2-3 feet?
Usually they'll take the pupa within a couple of feet or 3 feet of the bottom of the lake,
Right.
and then they'll follow them quite a ways higher into the water column and then take them, 10 feet below the surface of the lake.
Now, in the lakes that I fish near my home in Washington, the fish tend to take chironomids a lot as adults or just under the surface. So you kind of have to keep an open mind about how you fish this hatch.
I've let my type 3 sinking line sink till it's perfectly vertical, straight up and down, and then I'm doing a real slow but steady figure of 8 or hand twist retrieve. Bring her straight up. There it is.
Oh! Okay, type 4 line. I'm going to my type 4 line now. I'm just going to keep switching gear all day long until I get a fish.
That's good. Man, did you see that rod go?
Oh, man!
And I thought I hit a snag. I said, what? There's no snags down there at 30 feet. He just stopped it.
Wow. So you're still fishing the bomber, huh?
Oh, yeah. No, first fish of the morning, Skip.
Okay, you've convinced me.
I'm just going to do a throat pump on this fish.
Okay.
Figure out what they're eating.
Pumping a fish's stomach is not something you want to do unless you've been taught how. As a fisheries biologist, Brian's technique won't harm this beautiful Kamloops trout.
Good looking Kamloops.
And then I'm just going to put them into the vial, and there you go. He's eating chironomid pupa, and they're all alive.
Chironomid pupa.
Chironomid pupa, and it's just the start of the day, Skip, so hopefully this is a sign of good things to come.
Yes, amen. Well, I was fishing a leech, and I was having a lot of fun fishing it, but no fun catching fish, and I'd rather catch fish, so I'm going to switch to a, what are they, about a size 12?
Yeah, 12.
There's a little black chironomid, about a size 12 chironomid pupa with a little bead in its head. I'm going to get that little bugger right down close to the bottom and retrieve it very slowly.
So what we've done this morning is that we're anchored in about 29 feet of water. And we chose that deep water because there's chironomid pupa coming up. We can see them coming up through the water column. So chances are the fish are eating the pupa fairly close to the bottom. So I've put on a type 3 density compensated sinking line, and we're casting it out about the depth we're anchored in, and then letting it sink till the fly line is straight up and down or vertical, and then doing a really slow hand twist retrieve right up to the surface. And that's imitating the natural rise of the pupa through the water column.
Having the right method at the right time is critical. That's why Skip scurries to match Brian's presentation. There are different ways to accomplish the same task, and this pair have spent countless hours figuring out which one is best at any given time. In fact, Skip and Brian collaborated on a book, Morris and Chan on Fly Fishing Trout Lakes. detailing how to fish a variety of insect forms on most still waters.
We found a bunch of fish moving, and they're probably feeding on chironomid pupa real close to the surface, or they're even taking the adults. So we're just going to sneak in there and cast a few flies in there and see if we can get them to bite. It's
Every so often it happens. Things are just right, and all the fish you ever dreamed of are there. In this case, the wind has pushed the hatching pupa to the end of the lake. There's a cool spring offering ideal water temperature, and a swarm of Kamloops trout are waiting to be discovered by Skip and Brian.
Yeah, what are we doing here, Brian? We were fishing in 25, 30 feet of water a while ago.
yeah, well, we found a shallow water chironomid hatch.
And a bunch of fish.
And a bunch of fish feeding.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Does that work?
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly happy with a bunch of fish. No problemo.
Put an indicator on. Hard to.
Oh, well, good thing I just took mine home. Oh!
They're just plucking at it.
That's not right.
Somebody will eat it.
Maybe they need a furry dragon. Maybe that's what they're begging for. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good fish. Ooh.
It's a bit of a challenge landing them in here.
Oh! Cripes.
Gotta kind of put the brakes on. Oh.
Gee.
Get out of there.
Oh, my turn. Oh, this is gonna be a trick. Net. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I netted him. That's right. Oh, yeah.
In such a situation where food and frantic fish activity collide, we could slide our underwater camera into position and get some great shots. The first thing to look at is the pattern we're fishing, a chironomid pupa. It doesn't look like much underwater, but apparently looks enough like the real thing to interest the trout. If you watch carefully, we have an actual take on the fly underwater. A number of fish pass it by with little interest, but out of nowhere, one spies the chironomid and takes it with abandon.
There he is.
There you go.
There's a nice one. Nice doe.
Gee.
That's a nice fish.
That is.
Beautiful. Whoa. No, I'll just let her go. There's a beautiful. That's like close to 20 inches.
Oh boy! No. No.
Big buck, Skip.
Oh!
Yeah. Horse him.
I'm doing all I can on a 4-weight. So far he's playing along pretty well. Early netting. Oh, not.
Head first.
I'm trying. There. Thank you, Brian.
All of our attempts to get Skip and Brian focused back on instruction were destroyed by the incredible fish action that we encountered. There's a lesson here, but it escaped all of us at this point.
Uh-huh. Oh, is this a spring?
Yeah, and there's that. And these fish are kind of concentrated in here, and they're feeding
Kinda.
on chironomids.
Well, this is a nice sized fish.
Our summary for chironomid angling was lost somewhere in the heat of battle. It may still dwell somewhere in this bay of Stony Lake on the Douglas Lake Ranch, but we can't find it.
Spring.
For all the details on how Morris and Chan fish lakes, you might want to look for their book.